If you're in your 50s, 60s, or even early 70s, pause and listen closely. This video could change your life dramatically. I recently came across a fascinating yet heartbreaking study. Researchers spoke with hundreds of seniors, all in their 80s and 90s, asking a simple yet profound question. What do you regret most looking back at your life? You might think answers would vary widely, ranging from career choices to financial decisions or maybe missed opportunities to travel. While these topics did surface, one powerful regret was expressed consistently by nearly 90% of respondents. It wasn't about careers or money, it went deeper than that. This regret isn't something they talked about easily. Their voices often trembled, their eyes became moist, and many paused with a deep sigh before admitting it. It was as if they had been waiting decades to share this deeply personal truth. The surprising thing was that nearly every person interviewed said the same thing, regardless of their backgrounds or life experiences. So, what was this regret? Before I tell you, imagine yourself at 85, looking back at your own life. Ask yourself, what would you not want to regret? What would haunt you most deeply? Understanding this common regret now could completely transform how you live your remaining decades, bringing happiness instead of disappointment. Stick with me because, in a moment, I'll reveal exactly what this universal regret is, along with practical, actionable ways you can avoid feeling it yourself. This video isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about reclaiming happiness and satisfaction right now, no matter your age. Trust me when I say this is one truth you don't want to discover too late. As the researchers listened carefully to the stories of these seniors, a heartbreaking truth emerged. Nearly 90% of those interviewed expressed one particular regret more than any other. I wish I'd spent more time with the people I loved. Let that sink in. Their greatest regret wasn't career mistakes, financial losses, or not traveling enough. It was about relationships. Almost every senior spoke of missed family dinners, skipped birthday parties, and quiet afternoons spent working instead of connecting with friends or grandchildren. These seemingly small moments, when stacked together, formed an overwhelming regret they carried into their final years. One woman, Eleanor, 89, shared an unforgettable story that resonated deeply. She recalled how, at the peak of her career, she'd regularly work late evenings, always promising herself she'd spend more time with family once things slowed down. But those opportunities slipped away, unnoticed at first. One Christmas became two, missed birthdays turned into years, and eventually, her loved ones stopped expecting her to show up. By the time she retired and was finally ready to reconnect, her grandchildren had grown, her children were busy with their own lives, and those precious opportunities were lost forever. This story isn't unique. It's painfully common. You see, it's easy to prioritize urgent responsibilities, work deadlines, home chores, or personal goals, because those things always seem more pressing at the moment. But what we don't realize until it's too late is how deeply those moments of connection matter. Relationships nourish us, provide meaning, and truly make life worth living. But here's the good news, and it's genuinely hopeful. If you're hearing this today, especially if you're between your 50s and 70s, there's still plenty of time to change course. You can avoid falling into the same trap that led so many others to look back with deep sadness. In the next part, I'll share practical steps and inspiring advice from those who've successfully redirected their lives to prioritize relationships. You'll see how making even small changes now can profoundly impact your happiness and the joy of those around you. Now that you've heard the regret that haunts most seniors, you might wonder, how can I avoid this regret and prioritize relationships right now? Thankfully, there's a straightforward path you can start following immediately, no matter how busy or distant your relationships might seem today. First, recognize that time with loved ones isn't something to be squeezed into your leftover moments. Instead, treat it like the most valuable appointment on your calendar, because, in reality, it truly is. People who have successfully avoided this common regret say it often came down to one simple strategy: deliberately scheduling time for their relationships and fiercely protecting that time from distractions. Take, for example, Robert. He's 68, a former CEO who spent decades putting work ahead of everything else. A few years ago, Robert read an article similar to this one and realized with shock he was heading toward the same regretful future. Instead of resigning himself to regret, Robert took immediate action. He began scheduling regular weekly calls with his adult children, monthly outings with friends, and dedicated grandparent weekends with his grandchildren. Initially, this deliberate scheduling felt strange, almost forced, but very soon, it became the highlight of his life. Robert told me, "I realized something powerful. Relationships aren't about finding spare time. They're about intentionally creating moments together. Now, when my grandkids run to hug me, when my children share their lives with me openly, I feel richer than I've ever felt far, richer than my career ever made me." The lesson here is simple, yet transformative. Prioritizing loved ones requires proactive steps. It demands deliberate planning, just like you might plan your finances or health routines. It means recognizing relationships as your most precious resource and actively investing your time and presence into them. But scheduling alone isn't the full solution. There's another critical piece to ensuring you never feel this deep regret. In the next part, I'll share exactly what that is, a strategy so impactful. It's changed countless lives for the better. Trust me, this could be the most important advice you'll hear. Now, scheduling deliberate time for loved ones is powerful, but it's only part of the solution. The deeper strategy is about presence, being fully engaged when you're with the people you care about. Many seniors who carry this regret admit something painful. Even when they were physically present, their minds were often elsewhere, preoccupied with worries, work, or their endless to-do lists. True connection means giving your undivided attention, actively listening, and genuinely engaging with the people around you. Let's talk about Patricia, age 72. She shared a deeply moving insight about her own experience. Patricia had always made an effort to attend family events, but looking back, she realized her presence had often been superficial. Her mind was consumed by worries, planning the next day's tasks, thinking about unresolved conflicts, or mentally reviewing financial anxieties. Even though she was there physically, she wasn't fully connecting emotionally. Then one day, Patricia faced a wake-up call. Her granddaughter, barely 8 at the time, said, "Grandma, why are you always worried? Are you ever really here?" The question struck Patricia deeply. She decided to make a simple yet profound change. She began practicing genuine mindfulness, giving her complete focus to whoever she was with, listening deeply and savoring every moment. Suddenly, family dinners became meaningful conversations. Afternoons with grandchildren transformed into lasting memories. Patricia said it felt like truly experiencing life for the first time. This lesson is profound. Being fully present is one of the greatest gifts you can offer those you love. It's not just about showing up. It's about showing up completely. It's about putting aside distractions, your phone, your worries, the outside noise, and giving people your full, sincere attention. It transforms ordinary interactions into deeply meaningful connections, enriching your life and theirs. Imagine yourself decades from now, looking back without regret, because you chose not only to make time for those you love, but also to fully immerse yourself in every precious moment you shared. But there's still one more powerful insight I want to leave you with. It's the ultimate key to avoiding regret completely. Many seniors who carry deep regrets say they always believed there would be more time later, time to reconnect, time to mend broken relationships, or time to create new memories. But as years slipped by, they discovered a painful truth that later often never comes. Take James, now 82, who painfully expressed, "If only I hadn't waited so long to pick up the phone. If only I hadn't hesitated to say I love you or I'm sorry." He described how quickly days turned into months, and months into years, while he waited for the perfect moment. Sadly, those perfect moments never arrived, and he was left with lifelong regrets about words left unsaid and moments left unshared. You don't have to follow this same painful path. Today, right now, choose to reach out. Make the call you've been delaying. Forgive the misunderstanding that's kept you distant from a friend or family member. Schedule that visit you keep postponing. Don't let small disagreements or busy schedules steal precious years you'll never get back. This isn't just about avoiding regrets, it's about actively creating a life filled with warmth, love, and meaningful connections. Imagine waking up each day feeling deeply grateful, knowing you're spending your time exactly where your heart truly belongs, with the people you cherish most. The truth is, you have immense power to shape your own story. Don't wait until you're 85 to discover what truly matters. You have the incredible advantage of knowing now what countless seniors wish they'd realized decades earlier. The gift of awareness is yours. It wisely. Now it's your turn. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you experienced something similar? What steps will you take today to ensure you never carry this regret? And if you found value in this message, please share this video with family and friends. You might just help them avoid a lifetime of regret too.